YouTube Live. Yes, yes, yes. I have a quick and simple card for you guys tonight, but hopefully I will also show it to you with some new product, depending on how things roll, right? Always. So, welcome. My name is Elizabeth Giles, and I am coming to you live from the Stampin' Unicorns Craft Room here in, oh my gosh, my sound is on, here in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 20 years, 21 years actually. Hello, Kathy Wenzel. And I just enjoy doing all the things. So that's why we're here, right? We're going to talk a little bit, hello, Nanette, a little bit about the upcoming products. Today is the last day in March. Like, who can believe that? Just crazy. We're going to do our kindness thing for the week. I hope you guys are playing along. I really do need to get better at posting them to my Facebook group so that you guys can comment on them. So I'm going to put that as a goal this week. All right. Tomorrow night is Stamp Camp. And I do think I have 1 or 2 spots available. So if you did not RSVP to me and you will be coming tomorrow night, let me know. It was supposed to be the outgoing ink colors. However, I totally forgot that that's what I was going to do. So it's just some good cards. Some of them use the outgoing ink colors, but nonetheless, it will be great anyhow. Class starts anytime after 5 o'clock and ends, way early. You ladies like are always done way ahead of when that end time is. But so that's that. This last Sunday, I had a wonderful event at the Empty Nest Winery. We had 13 people come. Yes, it was great. One of the ladies was celebrating her birthday, and she brought her mom and a couple of friends. And then I had one of my coworkers come, and he had won the event for free from a donation that I did to United Way. So that was cool. And, some regulars, of course. Love you guys. Yeah, so it was a great time. And the next one of those is May 3rd, but it starts a little early. So 11 a.m. on May 3rd is the next one. April's already all booked, and May 3rd was the only date in May that I had open. So it is what it is. Y'all can just have fermented grapes for your breakfast, right? It's brunch at that point. So mark that on your calendar. You guys are the first ones to hear. I just nailed that down. So, gosh, other upcoming events. I have the Over the Rainbow 2-day Creative Escape coming up. And that is, oh my gosh, I have to look at my little calendar here. That is April 17th and 18th. I have one to 2 spots open for that. All right. So let me know if you are interested in that. It is held at the same place that I do my big fundraiser at. And it's a nice intimate group. So always a good time. It's where I have my Christmas in July if you've attended those events and such. So that is, I think that's it in the month of April. I know, that's it. And then May brings the big craft sale. So the one thing that's going to be different this year with the craft sale is since I am really going through all of my items and purging, it's going to happen. I need a release. I need some sort of stuff to make sense to me. It is only going to be my stuff for sale at this one because I want to be able to wheel and deal or do like half price or something like that. And I don't want to worry about messing with other people's stuff. But I will have a lot. If you come to class on that Wednesday before, so that would be May 6th, If you come to class on May 6th, then you get to shop early as well. So yay, fun for that. Otherwise, the sale is May 7th from 4 to 7 p.m. And then May 8th, which is a Friday, from I don't know what time in the morning, 7:30, 7 something to 4 p.m. And then Saturday is also that 7:30 time frame to just 11. And who knows, I might do some sort of special on that Saturday. I might do something Friday afternoon. I don't know what I'm doing. But it will be good. So, hello, Joanne. Yeah, so I think that's about it. For those of you who don't know, tomorrow is April 1st. No jokes. It is also the day that Stampin' Up! Will release new kits. I just love it. I'm going to be logging on for sure. It's also the month where we get a new last chance list. And what does that mean for you? That means if you haven't gotten the things that you need out of the annual catalog or the mini or just whenever online exclusives, because, there's lots of stuff. It could be going on the last chance list. It could be at a discount. I don't know. I won't know till tomorrow. But they do discount stuff really good when they need to move something. I've gotten scrapbooking workshop kits for half price on these sales. So definitely check it out. So tomorrow, April 1st, is the first day for that. They are also debuting a new layout for the website. So if you've had issues like trying to navigate to certain sections or certain releases, tomorrow is going to be a little different, which is weird because in my work life, I just did that. In my job, I just updated, they're called navigation nodes. So along the top, your drop down menu, I just updated that with our online banking because it needed to be refreshed. It needed to be new. It needed to show all the cool new things that we have. And that's what Stampin' Up! Is doing as well. So I hope if you've had any struggles with navigation that you will find that tomorrow will be joyous. From the preview that I've seen, I really do like it. So after it comes out and I can play with it, I'm sure I will give you guys some tips. All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, also tomorrow is new product of the month, and it is a die. It is a big die, and it has like flowers, and some of them pop up and some of them don't. Kind of like this card, right, that we made last week. Some of these pop up and some of them don't. Speaking of this card, I have a winner. So our winner for the card that we made last week is Miss Tina. So Tina will be getting that in the mail. If you didn't see last week, this is a really cool die cut embossing folder combo. So check that out. Last week's live video. All right. So just like Tina won, if you comment on this video, every time you comment, you get entered in to win. And then everybody's comments just get put in a thing and it decides for me who wins. So make sure that you comment and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment that you liked it, and all sorts of fun stuff so that you get entered in to win, right? Ba-dum-bum. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our kindness challenge for the week and then get into the card that we're making. So let's go ahead and flip you guys around. And I think I still haven't figured out my setup here. I did get a new phone. So we'll see how this new phone works. I think that looks good. We'll see once my computer adjusts. Yeah, that looks amazing. Okay. So every week we do a kindness bucket list challenge. There's 52 cards in here, and we pick a number out and then we scratch it off. Well, I was going to potentially not be live. So I had already picked a number, and the number was 52, and it's called Let's Get Scrappy. How fun is that, right? It does cost a little bit of money, but you can do it from home and you have to plan ahead. So this is going to be interesting, but let's get scrappy. Oh my gosh! This is great. This is right up my alley. I do not know if I'm going to be able to do that this week, but we will see. All right, let me just scratch it all off. If you're not familiar with these, there's 52 cards in this whole kit. And they also have kits for like states and everything. So if you're not all up into the kindness, but it comes in a little box. There's a cover, but I have the cards that we already did in the cover with the tokens. And then they have also like states, and it'll say like what city it is in and all of that good jazz. So this is our challenge. It says make a photo album with cherished memories shared with someone you love and gift it to them. It's a sentimental and heartfelt gesture that allows you to reminisce about the good times you had together and celebrate the special bond you share. Your thoughtfulness will be treasured for years to come. Okay, so a couple things that are funny with this, right? It says it will take 2 to 4 hours. I don't think so, Tim. It also gives $1 to $2 signs. All right. Anyhow, we will see. I think what I'm going to do with this one is this is going to be the month of April. I'm going to give myself a deadline by the end of April to get this finished. Okay. So I'm going to write that down. Deadline April 30th. All right. So it doesn't mean that it has to be like, I mean, this is a photo album, right? So even if you just do, and maybe that, ooh, I do have a good idea. Like those photo albums, right? But then making like a card or two and sticking it in the slots with a little journaling. I think, yeah, yes. Okay. So who's going to play along with me? Come on now. That one is fun and right up our alley. Okay, let's move on to tonight's card. So this is the card we're making tonight. It utilizes designer series paper. And if you haven't seen this designer series paper yet, let me tell you, it's stinking cute. It's called Homemade Sweetness. And it came out in March. All right. So March online exclusives. You can see how, well, in some of these designs you see right there. But it's kind of like a picnicky. But not like too picnicky. I don't know how to explain it. There's some checkered patterns. Some jars. So just really stinking cute. All right, some fruit, a notepad. So lots of cute things, okay? So check that paper out. They also have, for those of us, and I haven't made it yet, but this is called Made with Sweetness. And this is a scrapbooking workshop. So this coordinates, as you can tell here. And this does have some exclusive paper in it, but like it gives you the whole breakdown of what to cut and everything if you haven't seen one of these workshop kits. And I know not everybody here is a scrapbooker. However, a 12 by 12 frame, like definitely check that out. Hello, Kathy Larson. So even if you're not a scrapbooker, just think how cute a picture would be in there and in a frame. All right. So this just, like I said, it coordinates with the paper that we're using tonight. So if you haven't seen that, just go to our online store and type in workshop and you'll get all of the scrapbooking workshop kits. Okay, this is going to get set off to the side. Now, let's make our card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some brand new designer series paper, and we are going to cut these sheets so that you can see how it breaks down to cut, because I already have them cut. This was for a class, a stamp camp. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So my new phone has this protection mode. I can't see it very good from the side. So hopefully I keep everything in frame. But like I said, I'm going to grab some brand new designer series paper. We're going to cut what we need. We'll put together the other one. Maybe we'll put together this one too. I don't know. But this designer series paper is called Beautiful Ordinary Life. On one side, it is a black and white. And the other side is colorful. So we need 4 different patterns of paper. Okay. I mean, this one is stinking cute. Both sides of this is stinking cute. So we might just cut 2 from there. And let's see. I want something that's kind of more filled with color. Well, I like this yellow or this polka dot. That might be too busy. Ooh, stripes. Stripes it is. So yeah, we can use that. Yep, those will be good. Okay, so first we're going to cut 3 3/4 all the way down. Okay, I'm going to turn this way though, because 3 3/4 is going to be our wide. And when I cut this, I want to cut it so that I get like a long stripe. I don't know if that makes sense, but either way you cut it, it'll be good. The backs are non-directional, so that doesn't matter. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4. Now, instead of cutting 4 different pieces of designer series paper, I'm just going to cut and use this sheet twice. Okay. So first things first, 3 3/4 by 12. And then we're going to cut it down to 5 inches. So we're going to get the 3 3/4, and let me just put this here. 3 3/4 by 5. And we need that twice because we only have 2 sheets. We need a total of 4 sheets. So 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. So now we have, now we have our 4 sheets. So let's take a look here. Ooh, this one's got a little more color, so I'm going to keep that as my front. Now we'll flip that. And then this one here, I think I like that one a little better. Okay, so now we have our 4 sheets of designer series paper that are all 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, put them all together. All right, now we are going to cut at 2 inches. So after that cut, we have 2 inches by 5 and 1 3/4 by 5. Now take the 2-inch one, and we are going to cut it so that we end up with a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 2 piece. Now you will use all of these. So if you're like, oh, this looks a little better than this, it don't matter. You're going to end up using it all. So I'm going to make this piece my longer piece so that I get a little bit of this color. If I cut it at 2 inches, I'm not getting very much additional color, but if I cut it at 3 inches, I'm going to get a little bit more. So you have 2 by 5 and we're cutting it at 3 inches. Okay, now we're going to set these aside. Now take your 1 3/4 inch piece, 1 3/4 by 5, and this we are going to cut at 3 1/4. Okay, so again, so that we will end up getting a longer piece and a shorter piece. Okay. These are all the pieces that we need. Oh, and you have like these leftover pieces. Absolutely, you could cut those down and add a piece to the inside, like I did on this one, or you could just keep them, right? Now, if you were cutting for multiple cards, you probably wouldn't end up with as much left as what I did, but these are pretty sizable, so I'm just going to keep them for another project. Now, you are making 4 cards at once, all right? Let me see if this is going to focus. It looks a little out of focus. Brand new phone, right? Okay. How is it looking to you guys? Like my handwriting isn't very clear, but maybe it's just some other stuff. I think maybe that brightened it up a little bit. But new phone, so different stuff. Okay. So you have these pieces right like this. And if we stick it together, we get our size there, right? But we want different pieces on different things. So literally, I am just taking these and just sorting them out. And I think I messed it up already. Hold on. Okay. There we go. All right. And then we have this, 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 and this. Okay. So we started there. Now we will start up here. And it's not that complicated. It's just my spacing here is not the best. But basically, every single pile gets 1 of each. Okay? We're going to put that away. Put that away. Keep that one out. So now you can see when you put these together. Oh, and we're going to swap. So we're going to just take that. And I think I messed it up. Yes, I did. So this should have been like opposites. I knew there was something. But if I wanted to, I could maybe do that. And this. Oh, there we go. Nope. Nope. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. But see here how I have opposites that way. But anyhow, you're going to take all of these and you'll figure out what works for you. Or you can just line them up so that they almost line up over here and put your circle there. Or you can do like all black and white. Or yeah, all black and white. That does look pretty cool. Let's take a look at these if we did all color. Oops. Oh, I did that backwards. Hold on. Make my brain think. Oh, these are very close. That's why. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm going to stop playing around with it. You get what I'm saying. So, you just organize them. We're going to go back to these because I have everything cut and prepped for this. Okay. So these are the sizes that you need. If you need a screenshot of that. Okay. All right, so we're going to grab our card base. Our card base is standard card base at 5.5 by 8.5, and we are going to score burnish it in half at 4 1/4. Apparently, I did not give them an inside to that. No, I didn't. Okay. Here we have Marina Mist, and let me just make sure I have this size right. Yeah, 5 1/8. So it's going to be 1/8 of an inch bigger. So 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. If you don't want to do eighths, that's fine. Just do 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. All right. We are going to add these, and it's going to line up super nice. Now, I like to use tape for this because I feel like my fingers get a little messy otherwise. And what we're doing is I'm going to actually add the tape straight down. I'm leaving a little bit of a border. And I know this goes against everything I've ever taught you. However, it just makes placing it just a little easier. We're going to start in one corner and then work our way around. And I have a relatively thin border here. I start with the biggest piece and just lay that down. Then I'm going to go with the opposite corner and lay that piece down. Now what I'm looking for is I don't care if they overlap a little in the middle. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I don't have a gap in the middle, because a gap in the middle wouldn't look good. Okay. Now we're going to sneak up underneath here, because I know how far out I need to put that now. And we're just going to use our other papers to align this piece here. And I'm not even pushing down. I'm not even adding any tape. I am just doing that. Now I'm pushing down because I have it exactly where it needs to be. And same with this one. We'll add a little tape in the middle. We are going to lift this up and then go over the top of that one, but line it up with our top one. Oh my goodness. Get in there, spoons. Speaking of spoons and jars of things, I absolutely have been dipping into the peanut butter jar with just a spoon. Oh, there we go. I was just holding it the wrong way. I needed to come up on this side. All right. Now, this piece has no tape right here, so I'm just going to lift that up. Give it a little bit of tape. You do not need a lot, right? So you can't even tell that these pieces are overlapping here. But if there was a gap, you totally would have noticed that. Okay, next thing is we are taking this beautiful Misty Moonlight. Did I call this Marina Mist before? Oh my gosh. Misty Moonlight ribbon. I think this also came out with the online exclusives. Usually I mark it, but I must not have. And we are doing our ribbon tie trick. The ribbon tie trick is where you take your ribbon, go around a cylinder, in this case a Stampin' Spritzer. You're going to knot it once and then knot it twice. On the second knot, you are going to be pulling it straight out. And that, you want to also make sure that you go with your ribbon. That's not going with my ribbon. Let me try that second knot again. Okay. Pull it tight. There we go. And then go straight out. And what I mean by straight out is you want this 90-degree angle right there. You want it to look like a cross. So pull it straight out, and then you slide that baby off. And you take your big sharp scissors and you cut this loop in half at a diagonal, and you get the perfect little knot. All right. This is going across our seam. So another reason why you don't gotta worry too much about that seam. And we're going to take some sticky tape, you know, that stuff that you get in every single one of your kits. And we're going to use that to adhere our string. All right. Because it just makes it very tight and just a really great, it just holds it really good. I never used sticky tape before, and then I found myself having so much for from all of my kits, but I love to use it for ribbon. Like my kits, I'll just use my Stampin' Seal and then save the sticky tape. But definitely this ribbon, I love using it for that. It just holds it in place. And then it's super sticky. All right, what are you guys thinking about these colors so far? And this design, and do you think that this is something that you can do? There we go. Now we have to do our sentiment, and we have this awesome greeting pack. It's called The Right Words, and there's so much. Now, of course, this is red rubber, and our stamps will no longer be red rubber, which is great because you can see through them, and then you can stamp it good. But The Right Words, there's so many good things. We're doing to someone we're celebrating every single day. And then on the inside, happy birthday, right? And then I totally would see us maybe putting a little jar jam, you know, maybe some fresh sourdough with it, you know, and giving it just as a little gift. Okay, we are stamping on, ooh, what color is this? Petal Pink in Strawberry Slush. And we will stamp right there. Then take our 2-inch circle punch and punch it out. All right, then that's going to get popped up. On the inside of our card, we are going to stamp the happy birthday. Oh, and typically I would stamp that before I would put the front on, because if the front gets messed up, then, or if that got messed up, then I could cover it up with the front. But we did okay. It's okay. Let's put this little piece on the inside with the spoons. All right. Pop that up, and then our last thing is to add the embellishments. All right. So this is a quick, easy way to use your designer series paper. Like I said, you will get 4 cards out because you're doing the cut and switching. So absolutely grab that designer series paper and go to town. And then we're just grabbing a couple of strawberries here. There's big strawberries. Yes, so cute. Alrighty. So this is what we've got. Oops. See, I can't see my phone. It's blacked out on me. So I was a little off screen. But I hope you like this. And again, make sure that you screenshot. Maybe I'll set that right here and you can screenshot so that you can see it all together. And go from there. So I hope you enjoyed this card. And tomorrow night, I hope to see all your pretty smiling faces at class. I know not everybody can make it to Stamp Camp, but there's a few other opportunities if you want to have a little fun. So, okay. Well, you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm going to finish these other ones that I have cut, and then we will see how they turn out. So, have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.